What you say, ladies and gents, it is your boy BucketHatSam, and I have been wanting to do this video for so long. It is a 2021-2022 Premier League captains tier list, and I love these videos. They're very controversial, so hopefully I don't annoy too many people, but just remember, this is my opinion at the end of the day. Comment your prediction down below in the comment section. Smash that like button and subscribe if you're new to the channel. It does really help. But I thought the best way to start off this video is to define what a captain is. And according to Google and multiple research, a captain is a team member chosen to be the on-the-pitch leader of the team. They're often one of the older or more experienced members of the squad, or a player that can heavily influence a game and has good leadership qualities. Okay, so when we're analysing these players, when we're going through these captains, that's what I want to go back to. Can they change the game? And do they have leadership qualities? That is the most important thing, because there are some players in here, I'm not naming names, you might be able to see my mouse, who do affect the game, but not in a positive way. But the first one we are going to start off with is actually, before we start off, we'll go quickly through the different tier lists. So we have got the top, which is the GOATed captains. So these are the top dogs right now in the Premier League. Then we have good captains, which I think are very, very good. They're just not on that next level. Not bad means I think they're average. It's just hearsay, isn't it? Poor is somebody who I don't think really is the captain. I can see why they've given it. Maybe they might be an older player, or they potentially have a chance of being a good captain, but they're not. And then strip the armband are the people in the bottom tier that I just don't think are cut out. And it's no disrespect to them, it's just for me personally, I don't think they have the right qualities to be a captain. It doesn't mean they're a good player. But anyway, let's go straight in and start off with the main man, Jordan flipping Henderson. And Jordan Henderson has to go straight away into GOATed captains. This guy is a leader. You see him on the pitch. He's rallying the men. He leads by example. I've heard apparently he trains at a ridiculous level. He sets standards. Not only that, the stuff he does off the field as for captains all around in COVID. He was the guy who rallied all the other captains up. You can just tell he's a leader. I absolutely love him. I think he's really underrated. A great captain who's taken Liverpool to win multiple trophies. So for now, he has to be in the GOATed captains. Has to be. Just literally has to be. Then we have Fernandinho. Fernandinho, a player who is older. He seems to just get a contract extension every year. I'm going to put him in good. I think he's a very good captain. You can see he leads. He leads by example. He's not the loudest player on the pitch. He's helped them win trophies, but I do think he's got the captain's armband now because of his experience. He's an older member of the squad, but I just don't think he's on Jordan Henderson's level. He's not a player. Obviously, captains don't have to shout at their players and things and rally the team up, but I think it's a good quality to have, and I don't think Fernandinho does that. I think he leads by example, but overall, though, still a very, very good captain. Next, we have Harry Maguire. This is the one. I thought I'd get him over and done with straight away. I'm going to whack him in straight away as strip the armband. People may watch my channel before. I just don't think he's cut. I think he's a good captain, but I think he's struggling with being at a club like Manchester United, a huge club, lots of pressure on him. And they are the biggest club in the world, really. They haven't won trophies. You can tell he's struggling. He's got the whole thing. He's making mistakes. He's got the whole price of him being one of the most expensive defender in Premier League history. I just don't think he's right. He doesn't talk. He doesn't lead by example. He makes mistakes. I just think he can't cope with the pressure. And I think if they gave the captain's armband to another player on the pitch, somebody else, I think he would excel. He would thrive. You can just see he's struggling. There's pressure on him. I do feel for him because we all know he's a very good defender, a defender who can drive with the ball, but I think he is struggling in this Manchester United side, and I think it's because of the pressure looming over him. So he's going to have to go and strip the armband. Sorry, Harry Maguire, please don't take it personally. I still think you're a good defender. You're just making too many mistakes. That's it, simple as that. So next we have Lascelles, and now Lascelles is an interesting one. This is one where I'm going to say not bad. It's a hearsay one again. This is one of those ones where he's at a club like Newcastle where the job is to stay up. And you see, to be fair, he rallies defenders. He leads by example. But he is prone to making mistakes himself. He loses his head quite often. So we're going to keep him in not bad. Okay? We know what he does. So yeah, we're going to keep him not bad. I don't think really you can discuss it more so than that. Next, we have Grant Hanley. And I don't know what it is. I just love Grant Hanley. He just makes me smile. This guy again... I'm going to put him in poor. I get this is going to annoy a lot of Norwich fans now. And the reason... Oh, look at the way I've done that. Sorry, I've just realised I've got everyone in... I didn't even plan that. I think he's a good player. He leads by example. But one of the definition we spoke about age, leadership qualities, and you can have you can affect the game. You have a stance on the team, and that's my problem for him. I don't think his quality is enough. I think he's got great leadership qualities, but his actual footballing ability isn't on the level of what is needed, I believe, as a Premier League captain. Now, please don't take it personally, Grant Hanley. I know you're watching. You're a great defender. I just don't think he's good enough to be a Premier League defender. I think he's a great Championship defender. We've seen him in for many years. When he made that step over when he was at Newcastle, he's a great defender in the Championship. I just think he struggles with the pace of the game. So I think he's a good captain, but I don't think he's a great player. And I think to be a good captain in the Premier League, you need to be both a good player and a good leader to join together, because then you can set examples. Next, we have James Ward-Prowse. James Ward-Prowse is a player I absolutely love. He's going to go straight in at good. I think he's a great player. You see him rallying the team, and he single-handedly drives that team quite often, and which is what you want from a captain. That's the point with Grant Hanley. He doesn't do that, whereas James Ward-Prowse affects the game himself. Not only that, he sets great examples, and you can see him shouting at the players, driving the team onwards. So yeah, James Ward-Prowse, he's a great player. I still believe he deserves a bigger move. Next, we have Hugo Laurice. This, for me, is strip the armband. I'm never a fan of a goalkeeper as a captain anyway. I believe it should either be a defender or a midfielder. Somebody who's in the middle of the game, because he's so far back, it's very difficult for them to really command or control the game. That's my problem. Not only that, Hugo Laurice is a very quiet player. You see him on the pitch, you don't really ever see him shouting. Yes, you see him in the documentary, he did lose it that one time, but you never see any emotion actually on the pitch in the middle of the game. Not only that, he's been prone to mistakes in the last few years. He hasn't really set a great example. So for me, he's a good keeper, we all know it. And again, this captaincy could be the reason why his performance dipped. This could be the pressure. So he's going to go and strip the armband for me. Next, we have Moussa Soko, one of my favourite players in the Premier League. I absolutely love this guy. I think he's been consistently very good. I think he gets a lot of stick because he's not the best player on the eye, but I think he's a great midfielder. I'd say poor. We haven't seen him captain anywhere in his career, and he's gone straight into Watford. I think it's, again, because of his experience, because he's got Premier League experience, where the rest of this Watford side are a lot of players who've come in from Udinese or they're like their parent clubs and things. But I think he's a good midfielder. I think we need to give him time as a captain, because I haven't seen enough of him yet to say he's definitely a captain. It's that, again, I don't see him rallying people up. I've never seen that emotion on the pitch. So we'll keep him in poor for now, and we'll have to wait and see. So next we've got Mark Noble. This guy is a West Ham legend. I'm going to put him in good. I think he's a very, very good captain. Again, leads by example. Single-handedly has been there for West Ham. He's Mr. West Ham and has been for God knows how long. Literally my entire lifetime, I can always remember him being there. So I think he's a great midfielder. Again, he's got experience. He's got those leadership qualities you need to be a top captain. So I don't think, again, he's on the goated level, but I do think he's a great captain. I think he's the closest so far we've got to there. So if there was a one in the middle of that, it definitely would be there. Next, we have Connor Cody. And again, going to smack him straight into good. You see, this is what I was on about when we talk about Premier League captains. He's got the leadership qualities that you see him commanding. That's supposedly why he's in the England squad, because he's so good and his leadership qualities are that good. He controls the game and he's very, very loud. I really like this player. I do believe it's an awkward one. We're not talking about his actual footballing ability now. He's a great defender, but I think he's only suited to the three at the back. But Wolves play that, so he is fine. He's got to go in good. Very, very, very good captain. I really like him. Next, we have Tyrone Minks. And I'm going to straight away say he is poor. And the reason for this is, yes, he's very loud. You see him on the pitch, he gets emotional. But my problem is, he makes mistakes, and you can't have a captain. It's like the Harry Maguire situation. He does make a lot of mistakes. But then again, whereas with Maguire makes the mistakes, but Tyrone Mings, you can see he's loud on the pitch. He's very commanding. You can see him shouting orders. He has got the leadership qualities, but I just think he sets a poor example. So he's going to go in poor. Next is Pontus Janssen. Pontus Janssen is very, very close to this good, but I'm going to put him in not bad, because it is his first Premier League season. So we are trying to see whether he is cut out to be a Premier League captain. But when he was purchased from Leeds, he was instantly made the Brentford captain, because he's been brought in for his leadership qualities. So he's a very, very good captain. I just think before we get to this good level, we just need to see him how he copes for a little bit longer in the Premier League. Next, we have Lewis Dunk. Lewis Dunk, again, is definitely a very good captain. I really like him. I think, again, He sets a great example. He's been consistent. He's Mr. Brighton. I love him. I think, again, he could easily get a bigger move. But Brighton fans won't like me saying that. So definitely a good captain. Oh, Ben Mee as well. What, again? I'm putting too many in good here now. I might have to reshuffle things when I'm coming back. But Ben Mee is the same as Lewis Dunk. You know they're so consistent. They set great examples. You know exactly what they're going to do. These two here, or even these three, have been consistently, they play every single minute and have done for so long. Set great examples. You see their leadership qualities, shouting at defenders. I love them. I think they're great captains. Next, we have Azpilicueta. Oh, now this, do you know what? I'm going to go goated now. Azpilicueta has been a captain of the side when they've won trophies. I think he's a great player. Oh no, actually, you know what? Not goated. I'm going to move him down. I changed my mind. He's been a captain of the side when they've won trophies. He's very, very consistent. Again, I just don't know what it is. I can't put my finger on it exactly. There's something with Jordan Henderson. You can see it. You can see the effect. When he's out the side, you see what they miss. With Azpilicueta, I think he's a very good leader. He's got all the qualities you want, but he's not just quite there. He's very, very close to being goated. He's a great captain, though. He leads by such a good example. Next, we have Milivojevic. Again, this is a captain that I've really liked for many years, and I'm going to put him straight in not bad. He's been in and out the side this year, but he's very injury prone, has been, but he loves a penalty. He's a good captain. Overall, I like him. Next, we have Seamus Coleman. I'm going to go in poor because I think Seamus Coleman, Everton have been going through a really struggling time this season. They've had a lot of injuries. Seamus Coleman has been in the side, and I haven't seen anything from him to see these leadership qualities where he's rallying the troops. Because Everton, when they're struggling, you want a team to all pull together, and you'd want him to be in the heart of that. And I haven't seen that. Where I've seen players like Godfrey, who has shown how much he wants to fight for the shirt, and players like that. Whereas Seamus Coleman, I don't see him setting that example and rallying the rest of the team up. He seems to be quite quiet when I've watched him personally. You may disagree, but again, this is my tier list. By the way, if you're still watching now and you're enjoying this, smash that like button and subscribe, and comment if you disagree with any of these. Next, we have Liam Cooper. Liam Cooper, I think, is a great captain, sets a great example, but I don't believe he is suited to this side. I find it really interesting. He's a good captain. He's got the perfect leadership qualities, but I don't think he's good enough to play in this Bielsa side. On the ball, I don't think he's cut out for this Bielsa ball. So I think that's a really interesting one, where he's a great leader and he's in the side for being a leader, but then I think he holds the side back with their progressional play. You may disagree again. I think that's a really interesting one. So as a captain, I think he's great. So I'm going to put him in like an average one, because overall I think it balances out. Next, we have Schmeichel. Schmeichel, again, now this one's going to sound crazy, but I'd say strip the armband, because I'm not for goalkeepers being captains. I think defenders or midfielders, players who are outfield, further up the field, that can talk, because a goalkeeper can't communicate with a striker. Not easily. Whereas a defender or a midfielder who's closer can. That's my only problem. They're not involved throughout the game, whereas the rest of the outfield players are. I think he's a great player and has been a great servant to the club. His form has dipped quite a bit recently, but overall, I just don't like seeing goalkeepers as captains personally, and I just don't think he's suited to it. There are players like Johnny Evans. There are many at Tielemans. You've got many players in that squad you could see being captains. Even Jamie Vardy, somebody like that who can, again, lead by example, set that tone for throughout the game. Overall now, I'm looking, and I'm pretty solid. I am pretty solid, but I'm pretty happy with that captains list. Hopefully, guys, I've probably contradicted myself a lot, but this is my opinion. Let me know in the comment section below if you disagree or agree with my opinions and picks. But thank you for watching, guys. BucketHatSam over and out. I'll speak to you all soon. Goodbye.